another part of my life and my business is the Village Connector Community News. And it is a community online newspaper, only the good news, no politics, no crime. I mean, you know, some people say to me, well, what's left? Well, there's an array of things left.
Yes.
You would be so surprised that this great newspaper is really bringing, you know, print media is gone. No one's buying the paper now. No one's reading it. They're online. And so this is an online newspaper for and about the community. All of our reporters are volunteers. We write, you know, articles that then we have a virtual assistant team that sends them out to social media and to bookmarking sites for you. And then, you know, I'm so excited about Village Connector because it has really taken off in the last year. And Glenn Garnes is our founder. You know, I saw the value in Glenn before he even launched the first edition of the paper.
Yeah, definitely.
And now we're 16 editions live in Maryland.
That's awesome.
We're live in Washington, D.C. We're live in Virginia, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia. What the paper brings to every community is amazing. It is an awesome way to get connected. And I'm really excited because we're also in California now.
That's awesome.
Arizona, St. Louis.
It's really growing fast.
Very quickly.
Wow.
And we're about to add a smart app. So those people, you know, that younger generation that carry their phone around and do everything, they'll be able to be connected to Village Connector that way.
So how can our viewers, our entrepreneurs here in this community, participate in the Village Connector?
Well, what they need to do is go to villageconnector.com and they'll find a map of the United States, and then they can click on the state that they're interested in and then the county and go to that edition.
Okay, cool.
They're on the front page of every edition in any state. There's an About tab, and under the About tab there's, you know, different information there on how you can write for your community. There's a segment on Write for Your Community, and then there's another page that's called Articles Submission Guidelines. And that talks about where to send your articles in, what kind of content, how to let our VA team know what's going on. And, you know, if you have an event for scouts or for a food drive in your community, or you're involved with a nonprofit like cancer support, then, you know, write an article, take a few pictures, do a video. Hey, video.
Well, guys, there's obviously so much that Anita offers, both with the Virtual Assistants by Anita and with the Village Connector. I really encourage you to go on the sites, check her out. She offers some really great packages with the Virtual Assistants, so you might want to just see what those are all about. Honestly, we won't talk prices today, but they're extremely affordable and well worth the value. Also, the Village Connector is something you want to dig into and get a piece of that, because as entrepreneurs, these two aspects that Anita brings to the table are really important, solid pieces to making our business a success. So I really encourage you to take a few minutes to dig into those. Anita, before we go, I would like, you just have so much experience, and as opposed to some of the people that we have on the show who are still working to get to their dream. In fact, I'm still working to get to my dream. You are really just kind of there, and you're looking kind of far off down the road at us, kind of coming up toward you like, we're almost there.
All that. I'm still, you know, I have more dreams to fulfill.
Absolutely. But you've come to a place now where you're like happy to get up at 6 o'clock every morning and really not ready to go to bed at 1 because you're just so...
Oh, absolutely. Yep, that's my hour.
Because you're so into it, you know what I mean? And so with that knowledge of having come so far, what can you say to the folks who are, you know, just really at the beginning of their struggle?
Well, I would definitely suggest that, first of all, you align yourself with other people. Find someone, some folks that you trust and believe in, that, you know, it doesn't matter whether they, you know, have the same business as you. I work with other virtual assistants all the time. Kim Wesley from TKM Virtual Services and I are very much aligned. We can be there for each other to sound off ideas. But I also have businesses that are not related to mine and that, you know, are my support team. And I really suggest you do that. I think that that is very important, to have someone that you can call, a network. You know, I talked about the Village Connector folks being my family. Well, they are. And if I need them, if I'm at a crossroads where I don't know what to do, then I know that I can reach out to them and send them an IM or call them on the phone and they would help me. Being involved in a mastermind group, that was instrumental to my help in the last year, and I suggest that everyone get involved in a mastermind group. And if you can't find one, form one. Be the person that makes it happen. I so appreciate you having me on today.
Oh, thank
and,
you.
all of your great compliments on my services. If folks are interested in seeing a visual, they can go to AnitaMHicks.com.
Okay.
And then there is a portfolio page there.
Perfect.
And you can actually get a visual or click on the website link to go to the different folks' social media marketing packages that I've created.
Okay.
And then you can get a real visual for what I do. In addition, there is it's called My Clients Speak. And it's like a testimonial page.
Awesome.
And I actually have a video embedded from Laura Strunk, who is one of my wonderful alliance partners and friends.
Perfect.
And you can, get a little feel for what she kind of said the same as you, is that, my company is new, so I don't charge outrageous prices. I try to keep my rates inexpensive. I work with small businesses, so her biggest thing is that the money that she invested in the social media services with me has been tripled by the income that she's brought in business. So the value is definitely there, and that's basically what she's saying, and it far outweigh what she brought in clients.
Yeah, I definitely see that as being true, because you're just professionalizing the image.
You get up and, I try to take a few moments in the morning and I journal and I'll write down something that I'm grateful for, and then sort of something that is really important for me for today, to make a goal that I'm going to accomplish this today. And I think that those visions are important, and I have long-term visions too, and I'm hoping that in a year my husband will leave his full-time job and we'll be running him full-time with Virtual Assistants by Anita.
I love reaching the next step.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
Well, that's why you're running Live Your Dream TV.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, of course. You guys know that I love Anita, you can tell. But
well, I love Tara too. So.
It's a good day. Could you help us wrap up the show with the question of the day?
Okay, absolutely. Okay, so my question of the day to you would be, do you have a plan for your social media marketing campaign? Do you just go out a couple times a day onto Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and you're sitting there going, okay, I'm going to post this now, and that's what you do? Or do you actually have a plan? Because it would be better for you, and I suggest this to all of my clients, if you would sit down and make a plan. For instance, if you have 3 posts a day is your plan, then what are those 3 posts going to be? Are they all selling your business, or are you adding something of value? Because most people, it is social media. They want you to give them a little value. And so I think that, that would be the question of the day, is do you have a plan?
Very good question.
I'm glad you like it.
Thank you.
And, the other thing I wanted to say to you before we wrap up is that, last year when I started this, I think that Kim actually said this to me, you have to have faith. And that's really, when I started my business, several people were like, the economy is not that good, Anita. Are you really sure you know what you're doing? So I really like that quote from Martin Luther King, faith. Take the first step, even if you can't see the whole staircase.
Thank you very much. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. It's been a great episode today. Your passion truly is our passion. And together, we're going to go out there and empower one more person to live their dream. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Revolution.